Welcome to Grover Load. I'm Anthony, and this is big news. You guys have heard me talk about being able to repair and just being able to repair and to keep equipment longer. And while this isn't directly related to computers and everything else, this is hopefully going to be the start of a cascading thing to get right to repair on pretty much everything that we buy, because as soon as you buy it, I believe you are the owner of it. So let's jump over. This is the AP, and this is from Colorado here. Becomes the first to pass right to repair for farmers. And this is a big deal overall. Um, Being able to repair, I grew up with my uncles owning a farm, so I've been on one. Heck, I rent out land to for farmland currently today, and I actually own a tractor as well. So, a small one, but nonetheless, I like to repair it myself, and not having to take it always in and everything else. Not everything is near me, so that is downtime, and I've had warranty repairs on it, and downtime is never fun. You can't get back in the field. You have to wait for the repair to get done, and then it to be shipped back, transported back, and then to be get back in the field. It's not a fun scenario to be able to wait on, and to so that you can get something done. So with that, this is the right to repair law, which it's compelling manufacturers to provide necessary manuals, tools, and parts and software for this. Now, that everywhere where you're kind of working out in the field or anything else, right? To have that go back into and get back into the from the dealer to get repaired, all that other stuff can take time, and it can be a huge delay. When you're in the field and you could just repair something pretty quickly, it's a really big inconvenience here. Now, and tractors conveniently today, I don't know if any of you in the just work on desktops know this, but they are insanely high tech today. Everywhere from GPS guidance to all the computers to controlling how um, fertilizers and seeds come out, to being able to, with your GPS guidance, to be able to control spray nozzles for spraying based upon what has already gotten some spray, about how much, all that stuff. It is pretty incredible what all the technology that has gone into these systems here. So, but manufacturers and dealerships, right, they're raising their concerns, providing tools and information of farmers that will allow equipment owners to illegally crank up horsepower and bypass emissions controls. Yeah, yeah, okay, you're always going to have some of that, even with these current controls that you have. It's going to be there. But preventing us to be able to not repair something is not the right way to do something. Again, they said John Deere didn't respond to this, but forcing a business to disclose trade secret software and jeopardize consumer safety is poor public policy. Who is this idiot? Republican Matt Stuper. That it's going to wait. It's going to stifle tech innovation. I This has got to be one of the dumbest people that has ever made a quote ever. Um, you're not disclosing your trade secrets. You're disclosing the software that you use to be able to diagnose these things. In vehicles here in the United States, we have ODB2, and that standard has been around for long enough where these car companies have had it in. You go in with one of these fancy computers, which I'm going to do a video on here, scan what is wrong, be able to get the diagnosis, and then be able to repair it. Okay, I mean, I this guy obviously has never worked on anything in his life if he's saying a quote like that. I work on my own vehicles, I work on my tractor when it's not a warranty repair, and this is just opening it up so that I have more access to that and to be able to do that. Farmers know what they're doing, right? They've got and repaired equipment for a long time, since the tractor has been around, since equipment's been around. Heck, with horses and their equipment, they've had to repair that. I don't see this. It's just another one of those people that think that consumers don't have the right to own their stuff like being able to repair a laptop or a desktop. You should have the right to be able to go in and repair it, or take it to a repair shop that's able to do this and have a competitive cost. If you're not going to have these uh, these systems opened up, what's going to happen is that it drives up the cost, and you have monopolistic market, and then they can just keep on, having you come back to them for anything and charge whatever price. And we've seen this in the whole. I mean, part of the reason with all this ODB stuff and everything else was the car companies and dealerships doing the same thing back in the day. Um, it's beyond me. So um, putting it in, this is, farmers first, um, require long waits, right? Some of these are very long waits. These are the things where you just go through and be able to do it. I have a small tractor overall. I'm not working on a big scale like some of these other farmers. I rent a, smallest plot of land to some farmers. I work the field and stuff. So, um, being able to do these things and be able to repair it is kind of essential. I my take for instance my downtime. They actually got it back because it's a known issue, and it was quite reasonable. Only out for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, someplace in there. But it's one of those things where all that other time, I guess what I have to do. I have to sit there and wait, which was inconvenient because when you're farming, you're dealing on weather. It's not like you can just go in any old time. Weather is a problem. And then, I'm also prepping my tractor I use it for winter for plowing snow. And I'm prepping it for that. This was in the fall of the year. So not only am I, have to go and I want to work an area of the field to, keep that dried out, keep everything going, and break up some of the, tillage of what's there. But you're also prepping for other types of the season, and this leads into being able to repair all your other electronics. This is one of those things where there was a lot of lobbyist money. There is a lot of lobbyist money trying to prevent this thing from happening, especially in the farming sector. Now you do this, and hopefully this can actually bring more information and more people realizing that this is a good thing, so that you can repair your, your failed laptop, your MacBook, your iPad, your iPhone, your Android device, your, OnePlus, your Samsung, whatever else. While they've released some of these things with iFixit and everything else, it needs to get more. There needs to be more of this, because a device like this, I mean, besides, them slowing it down with software, is, as long as you don't break it, run it over something else, is going to last a long time. Why are we just throwing away and having a bunch of e-waste and waiting on everything else because of it? And this is one of the things what I really like about the right to repair movement, is that there are about keeping the device as long as you need it, not when it's determined that you shouldn't use it anymore. And that's the one nice thing I got. That's why I got the framework. I really wish framework would have a touch screen, right? That's one thing I really miss. But, and that's one thing that my wife is going to complain about when she gets her new framework though later this year. I know it, but I can repair it, I can upgrade it, and it's a lot easier than taking apart these other laptops that haven't had that as a thought first. You know, if you haven't taken a chance, go take a look at Louis Rossmann. He does a great job. A lot of his videos, he's done a great job for the right to repair. He showed you how to repair stuff. Guess what? He still gets business. Why is that? Why will the dealership still get business? Why will, there still need to be, John Deere dealerships, Massey Ferguson dealerships, New Holland dealerships, Kubota dealerships to repair stuff? Because not all the time the farmer's going to want to repair it. But you start showing these videos of how to repair stuff, and guess what? People trust you because they're like, oh, if he knows how to do this, he probably can do a pretty good job. We're going to still send him stuff. But then you're also educating people on how to repair them, how to repair this stuff and make a better ecosystem and just keep something alive. When a dumb chip just dies, it's a lot easier probably to repair it than it is to buy a whole new one. You're saving people data. and everything else without having to go through the rigmarole of dropping a lot of cash, especially in an economic environment where it isn't really, money's just not flowing around besides the government spending it. And this is just one of those things where right to repair is the next step to kind of really, or this is one of these steps to kind of push this and be able to force it throughout, because the companies don't care about the consumer. And that's what it's about. If you really cared about the consumer, you would be putting out all this data so that people could be able to repair their stuff, be able to fix their stuff, and make it a lot easier. But I guess you don't really care about it. And that's my opinion on it. If you have a different one, well, that's your opinion. But I believe that if you really cared about your customer, you'd be getting as much information as you can in the customer's hands so that they know how to fix stuff, they know how to do stuff. Even if they don't go and fix it themselves, at least they have that data. And then they can trust that they're making the right decision when they're going through and not being cheated out on something. So that's my little bit on this right to repair. Hopefully you guys have found something interesting about this, but I think that this is a great deal, and being able to get this bill across the line. I haven't read the full bill, but being able to get this out there so that people have the ability to repair their stuff is always a step in the right direction. Now, we just want it should have been on all electronics, everything, and keep on pushing, because this is a big thing. It, keeps things going in the right direction of people actually owning their stuff, and that's what we all do. If we buy it, we own it. Companies, that's the way it is. Live with it. So with that, let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments below. I'll be interested to see where you guys all stand. And until next time, do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that fun stuff. And I want to say thank you so much for watching and helping support Gray Overload. I really do appreciate it. And God bless.